All right, I'm going to go on blast here for a second. And I'm sorry. I know these are 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, and I should feel sorry for them. And things didn't work out. And I've often argued they deserve to get paid and they deserve to have the leverage to be able to transfer. But Chas Nimrod leaving the program, announcing he's going to enter the transfer portal. This is a guy who is on the field. This was a guy who has an opportunity to play Ohio State in the college football playoff and advance and be a champion one day. And I'm sorry, for those of you that don't play sports, being a champion is a monster freaking deal. And I know high school coaches that are still chasing that after 30 years that go out and mow the yard and do everything else and probably make $45,000 with their coaching supplement. And that's what they make. And Chas Nimrod, I'm sure, is not starving, and he's going to enter the transfer portal before a college football playoff game. I mean, you can say something's wrong with this calendar, and we have, but I think the calendar's fantastic now, because if you don't want to be around, just cruise on out. Do not make the transfer portal after the playoffs, because I know there's another one. But if you do it then, and these guys have to be around the team and they don't want to be around the team, then I got no need for you. And I'm really disappointed in some of the guys that have left. Some were naturals because they weren't playing a role, but Chas Nimrod was playing a role. And this is a choice of a young man where things got too tough. And I don't know if Tennessee asked him to leave. I doubt it, because they played him. But the bottom line is this is a cowardly move with so much to play for.
All right. Now it's my turn. Dave, you and I have both talked about how Chas Nimrod just doesn't have the wheels to keep this offense going the way it needs to go. He was playing because they don't have the health and the personnel they thought they had at receiver this year. Let's just call it what it is. You don't think that they were going to address that in the offseason? They have 3 receivers coming in this year alone. They have 3 receivers in this 2025 recruiting class. Braylon Staley is going to take a step forward. Mike Matthews is a budding superstar, arguably one of the greatest receivers of all time in Tennessee history when it's all said and done in terms of pure talent. Pure talent has the most raw talent of any Tennessee receiver I have ever seen. Mike Matthews does. Dante Thornton is gone, so Dante Thornton doesn't count, but Squirrel White's coming back. We agree Squirrel White's coming back, right?
Well, I mean, I can't tell. He's got a baby, so I mean, does he see more?
Not Dante, Squirrel White. Yes, Squirrel White. He's got a baby.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, but I don't know if his draft stock's going to be where he wants it to be. But maybe we'll see what the NIL money is. Either way,
I don't either. But you get 5 years in, and your life changes because you get that automatic. What's it called? You get the pension starting at 45 years old.
Chris Brazzell or Chas Nimrod, healthy. You're not even thinking. You're starting Chris Brazzell, right? Better receiver.
Yes.
Mike Matthews or Chas Nimrod, better receiver. Mike Matthews, not even a question, right?
No question.
Okay. They have 3 more 4-star wideouts coming into the class this year in 2025, all of whom, my understanding, are more athletic than Chas Nimrod, will all beat him in the depth chart. On top of that, there's Braylon Staley, which I talked about. And Nathan Leacock is still on the roster. I'm sorry. Chas Nimrod was going to get pushed. You're right. He played some this year. He wasn't going to play next year. He was going to get pushed down the depth chart. Just like Caleb Webb played last year a good bit, didn't play this year once Mike Matthews arrived. They've built up the depth at receiver on the recruiting trail. Chas Nimrod needs to get out and he needs to find his spot. And I don't know if you saw this, Dave, and you tell me, was this a shot at Tennessee? Caleb Webb retweeted the news of Chas Nimrod hitting the portal, and he tweeted out 1,000-yard season coming for Chas Nimrod. Was that just I support you where you're going, or is that a shot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a shot. I mean, if anybody just took the shot, it was me, and I'll stand by it. And if Chas Nimrod was standing right here, I would tell him the same thing. You are in the rotation, okay? You are in the rotation to play. If you don't think you can hold off, I'll give you Mike Matthews, okay? But if you don't think that you can hold off incoming freshmen, and when you see the fact that Tennessee is probably going to lose Squirrel White, I don't know that. I've been working on that. But you are going to lose Brew McCoy. Dante Thornton, good Lord, we've been talking about him forever. What year is he now?
He's out of eligibility.
Okay. All right. You see that opening before you, and you're scared by a bunch of freshman receivers who just lined up against some 5'9" dudes who are about 145 pounds and run a 5'2" 40, because that's what high school is most of the time. You're scared away by those guys. It's a cowardly move. It's a move made right in the middle of a college football playoff run. If nothing else, at least have the respect of your teammates to say, I'm going to serve this thing out. There's another signing portal that opens in January, Caleb. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of this run? And Tennessee, the thing that frustrates me most is Tennessee gave him a chance to be a part of this run. And what does he do? He drops a key pass at Arkansas. It just, to me, is too selfish. I'm all about the players looking out for themselves. I am. And I thought they had been paid long ago. And I was happy and proud to pay Jacob Warren and Cooper Mays. And I thought that the transfer, by the way, did you know the way the transfer portal used to work? If you transferred and the school didn't okay it, you had to pay your own tuition. Did you know that?
Oh, I knew that. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a financial penalty against the amateur athlete. But don't get me started. I defended you there. But I'm not going to defend you when you are 13 days away from playing in a college football playoff game. You fought this hard for all of that, and you're going to announce that you're gone. I did not have as much of a problem with Bison Lang or Khalifa Keith because I didn't think they had a home here at Tennessee. You had a home here. You would have played, and Caleb, maybe, and you and I disagree. I'm not saying that he would have caught 40 balls, but he very well could have caught 16 to 18. And again, you leave on your own. He could have a sick family member. I don't know. But you don't announce it right now, right before the college football playoff. How selfish can you possibly be?
I don't think it's selfish. I think he's trying to get to a place before the spring. Now, what I will tell you is this. It may not be selfish. It's more short-sighted than it is selfish, because you have a chance at Ohio State, given how Tennessee against Vanderbilt, you saw they had to go deep into the rotation at receiver because of all the injuries they had. And given that fact, you have a chance against Ohio State on a national stage in the playoff to really make your name known and make a few big plays. Here's what I'll say. It's short-sighted. I'm with you in the sense of maybe transfer at the end of the spring if you're going to the college football playoff, because you have a really good chance to make a name for yourself in the playoff, and then you can maybe hit the portal. And think about this, you could command a lot more NIL money. And
yeah. I want to ask you, your son's now 6 months old. Mine turned 20 over the weekend. I want to ask you what you would tell your son if they came to you and they said, I really think I should transfer. What the H brought to you by Medicare, Misty?
I've been in business actually 19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
Okay, so the transfer portal, I want to be sure everybody's on the same page. Opens Monday, December the 9th and closes December the 28th. Okay? The spring window in April remains. The portal will only be in 10 days, lasting from April the 16th, shutting down April the 25th. So that portal is clearly not the one that most people want to be in because a lot of spots are taken. And I completely get that. But Tennessee could wait and be a part of this game in Ohio State that just happens to mean something. This young man may never get another opportunity to play in any sort of playoff again in his entire life. This is the dumbest, saddest move. And I ask you, as a father of 6-month-old Quincy, and I'm a father of 20-year-old Trammell, what you would say to your son if he came to you in this very predicament.
It's a bet on your. It is a. When did you say the transfer portal window closes?
28th. So
okay,
you theoretically could get if I'm right,
One game. You would get
just
one
one.
game.
You couldn't get 2 games on your belt. Okay.
Yeah, this is where it's stupid. It's a tougher decision if you beat Ohio State, and then you got to think about it, going long term. But like, you can literally play the Ohio State game. You have a chance to make a big splash in the Ohio State game. And if you don't, you could transfer after why would you not wait at least until after the Ohio State game? It doesn't have any impact on you whatsoever to play that game. You can transfer afterward, and the window's still open.
Well, it's because you're about as tough as a tissue of cleaning. That's why.
That's really not a smart move, unless there's been some tampering we don't know about where someone's offered him a ton of money and was like, we need you to come now. But
well, if that's been the case, then you should stay. You should definitely stay. You should say, thanks for the money. I'm going to see how this thing plays out. I mean, this to me is more akin to a cry for help.
Yeah, it's
somebody please pay me because I dropped the ball in clutch situations and I'm not very fast. I hate to be this hard on one guy. But again, if you're part of the 2 deep, and none of the guys we've talked about were, but if you're part of the 2 deep and you've gotten on the field, you just quit on your teammates. I wouldn't take Chas Nimrod if he called me and he said, hey, I love what you're doing at Arizona State. My dad just won the lottery. I would like to pay $10 million in NIL to come there. I wouldn't take it.
Okay. I agree with you because of the Ohio State game. I don't think it's as clear-cut a decision if Tennessee beats Ohio State, though, for Chas Nimrod. From the other perspective, let me ask you this. You think Tennessee's really hurting with Chas Nimrod going, though?
Yeah, but you're going the pragmatic route, and I appreciate that. He did not play a lot. He was not a big part of the future. I agree with everything you've said, but the bottom line is this is a cowardly move.
Okay, I mean, it's also maybe a business move, though. But again, I am wait till after the Ohio State game. It's not. I don't know if it's cowardly. I think it's just stupid. Like, I think it's just dumb. Like, you have the Ohio State game. You can play that. You have a chance to really make a name for yourself in that game. I just think it's stupid to not play that game, honestly. So I think that's where I'm at with this. Is like, I don't get why he wouldn't play in the Ohio State game. It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe you could figure out something on that, Dave. But I don't.
I'm working on that. But right now, I've got Chas Nimrod's transfer announcement was stupid, disloyal to his teammates, a business decision. And I'm all about business decisions, guys. I'm all about them. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm predicated on. So I think I have some sense of whether or not this is a good business decision. This to me sounds like when I check your references, they're not going to be real good. Okay. He's a part of the rotation and he left us a week before or 10 days before the Ohio State game. How does Josh Heupel respond to that? You don't even have to say anything. There are times with bad kids where you don't have to say anything. You just go, and the other coach knows that you think he's a piece of junk. That's the bottom line. And I'm disappointed for him. I do not think that he was so far removed that he was not going to play. I think he could have been like a back in the day Craig Faulkner type that just keeps playing, keeps making catches. He's a solid player. Be proud of him one day, offer him a job as a financial investor that makes $250,000 a year coming out of school because he's not an NFL player. It's the old rule. Keep your nose clean, fight hard for Tennessee, and you're going to be taken care of. So he can just kiss that goodbye. And whether or not he goes to Wofford State or whatever, I'm willing to bet they don't have as strong of a donor base.
I can tell you, though, Dave, I think you're saying – I think it was clear cut that he was going to be buried by next year. That's my argument. I think he was going to be totally buried in the depth chart by next year. And I think
you may be right, but that's not where I'm coming from on this.
So,
you would agree. I think you would agree with me that he was not one of those guys shown the door, right?
No. I've said that. Play the Ohio State game. The decision making comes after the Ohio State game, but play that game. You can still transfer. This window's still open. But you and I both know, Dave, you don't, as we said, if you're going to transfer, you don't want to transfer in the spring window. You want to transfer in the winter window. And
okay, but why not? If you believe in yourself, you just said bet on yourself. So bet on yourself and play this Ohio State game and transfer in the spring window.
Well, you could still transfer in the winter window, even if you play the Ohio State game. That's why I'm saying it's stupid to transfer now. You could play the Ohio
let's
State
say
game.
they win and you're a part of something special. Are you going to give that up? I don't understand how you even look somebody in the face on your football team. Again, because you're a contributor. It's not Khalifa Keith who's at the very end of the bench. And that's, to me, they put you in clutch situations to make plays. They believed in you.